Jonathan, the son of Saul, because the Lord's oath that was between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. So the king took Harmony and Mephibosheth, the two sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bore to Saul, and the 5 sons of Michal, daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholetite, and he delivered them unto the hands of Gibeonites, and they hanged them on the hill before the Lord. So they fell. All 7 together were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first day in the beginning of the barley harvest. Now Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for herself on the rock from the beginning of harvest until the last rain poured on them from heaven. And she did not allow the birds of the air to rest on them day by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. Then David was told what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. Then David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, who had stolen them from the street of Beth-shan, where the Philistines had hung them up after the tracked down Saul in Gilboa. So he brought up the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from there, and they gathered the bones of those who had been hanged. They buried the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son in the country of Benjamin and Zelah, in the tomb of Kish his father. So they performed all that the king commanded, and after that God heeded the prayer for the land. When the Philistines were at war again with Israel, David his servant with him went down and fought against the Philistines, and David grew faint. Then Ishbenob, who was one of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose bronze spear was 300 shekels, was bearing a new sword, thought he could kill David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, came to his aid and struck the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swore to him, saying, "You shall go out no more with us to battle, lest you quench the lamp of Israel." Now it happened afterward that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbechai the Hushitite killed Saph, who was one of the sons of the giant. Again there was a war at Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Gera, Origim, the Bethlehemite, killed the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Yet again there was war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature, who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. So when he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shimei, David's brother, killed him. These 4 were born to the giant of Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. 22. Then David spoke to the Lord the words of this song on the day when the Lord had delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, "The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the God of my strength, in whom I will trust, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold and my refuge, my savior. You save me from violence. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the waves of death surrounded me, the floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The sorrows of Sheol surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried out to my God. He heard my voice from his temple, and my cry entered his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the earth quaked and were shaken because they were angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down with darkness under his feet. He rode upon a cherub and flew. He was seen upon the wings of the wind, and he made darkness canopies around him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. From the brightness before him, coals of fire were kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. He sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning bolts, and he vanquished them. Then the channels of the sea were seen, and the foundations of the world were uncovered. At the rebuke of the Lord, at the blast of his breath, of his nostril, he sent from above. He took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me. for they were too strong for me. They confronted me the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He also brought me out into a broad place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands. He has recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments are before me. As for his statutes, I did not depart from them. I was also blameless before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore, the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my eyes, according to my cleanness in his eyes. With the merciful, you show yourself merciful. With the blameless, you show yourself blameless. With the pure, you show yourself pure. With the devious, you show yourself shrewd. You will save the humble people, but your eyes are on the haughty, that you may bring them down. For you are my lamp, O Lord, the Lord shall enlighten my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop. By my God, I can leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He's a shield to all who trust in him. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? God is my strength and power. He makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer and sets me on high places. He teaches my hands to make war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your gentleness has made me great. You enlarged my path under me, so my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and destroyed them. Neither did I turn back again till they were destroyed. And I have destroyed them and wounded them so that they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet, for you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose against me. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, so that I destroyed those who hated me. They looked, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but he did not answer them. Then I beat them as fine as the dust of the earth. I threw them like dirt in the street, and I spread them out. You have also delivered me from the strivings of my people. You have kept me as a head of the nations. People I have not known shall serve me. The foreigners shall submit to me as soon as they obey me. The foreigners fade away and come fighting from their hideouts. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Let God be exalted, the rock of my salvation. It is God who avenges me and subdues the people under me. He delivers me from my enemies. He also lifts me up above those who rise against me. You have delivered me from the violent man. Therefore, I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the Gentiles, and sing praises to your name. He is a tower of salvation to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David and to his descendants forevermore. 23. Now these are the last words of David. That says David, the son of Jesse, that says a man raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God. He shall be like the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without close, like the tender grass springing out of the earth, by clear shining after him. Although my house is not so with God, yet he has made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things and secure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire. Would he not make it increase? But the sons of rebellion shall all be as stones cast away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man who touches them must be armed with iron and the shaft of a spear, and they shall be utterly burnt with fire in their place. These are the names of the mighty men whom David had: Josheb, Bashebek, the Techomites, chief among the captains. He was called Adino the Enzite because he had killed 800 men at one time. And after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo and the Ahotite, one of the three mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines who were gathered there for battle, and the men of Israel had retreated. He arose and attacked the Philistines until his hand was weary and his hand stuck to the sword. The Lord brought about a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to plunder. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agag, Harahite. The Philistines had gathered together into a troop
where there was a piece of ground full of lentils. So the people fled from the Philistines. But he stationed himself in the middle of the field, defended it, and killed the Philistines. So the Lord brought about a great victory. Then 3 of the 30 chief men went down at harvest time and came to David at the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David said with longing, oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. So the 3 mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines, drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink it, but poured it out to the Lord. And he said, far be it from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is it not the blood of the men who went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore, he would not drink it. These things were done by the 3 mighty men. Now Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Jeruiah, was chief of another 3. He lifted his spear against the 300 men, killed and won a name among these 3. Was he not the most honored of 3? Therefore, he became their captain. However, he did not attend to the first 3. By now was the son of Jehoiada, the son of Alentman from Gapsel, who had done many deeds. He had killed 2 lion-like heroes of Moab. He also had gone down and killed a lion in the midst of the pit on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a spectacular man. The Egyptian had a spear in his hand, so he went down to him with a staff, wrested the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, did, and won a name among 3 mighty men. He was more honored than the 30, but he did not attend to the first 3. And David appointed him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Al-Hanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shammah the Harodite, Elikah the Harodite, Helis the Peltite, Ira the son of Kesh Tekoite, Abizar the Anatotite, Mebunai the Ishutite, Salmon the Ahotite, Maharai the Netophotite, Heleb the son of Bana, the Tophotite, Ita the son of Ribai, from Gibeah the son of the children of Benjamin, Benani a Paratotite, he died from the brooks of Gash, Abi Alban the Arabatite, as Mavev the Bahumite, Aliba the Shalbonite, of the sons of Jashin, Jonathan, Shammah the Haratite, Ahiam the son of Harara the Hararitite, Aliphelite the son of Al-Sbai, the son of Makahite, Aliam the son of Ahitophel, the Gilonite, Herzad the Carmelite, Perai the Arbite, Agal the son of Nathan of Zoab, Bane the Gedite, Zelek the Ammonite, Harai the Berutite, Amor of Joab, the son of Zuriah, Arah the Aritite, Gareb the Athritite, and Uriah the Hittite, 37 in all. 24. Again, the anger of the Lord arose against Israel. He moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. So the king said to Joab, the commander of the army who was with him, go throughout all the tribes of Israel from Dan to Beersheba and count the people, that I may know the number of the people. And Joab said to the king, now may the Lord your God add to the people 100 times more than they are, and may the eyes of my Lord the king see it. But why does my Lord the king desire this thing? Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the army. Therefore, Joab and the captains of the army went out from the presence of the king to count the people of Israel, and they crossed over the Jordan and camped in Arah on the right side of the town, which is in the midst of the raven of Gad, and towards Jazer. Then they came to Gilead and to the land of Tathim, Hotshi. They came to Dan Jan and around to Sidon, and they came to the stronghold of the Tyre, to all the cities of the Hivites and the Canaanites. Then they went out South Judah as far as Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of the 9 months and 20 days. Then Joab gave the sum of the number of the people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000. And David had condemned him after he had the number the people, after he had numbered the people. So David said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But now I pray, O Lord, take away the iniquity of your servant, for I have done very foolishly. Now, when David arose in the morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and tell David, thus says the Lord, I offer you 3 things. Choose one of them for yourself, that I may do it to you. So God came to David and told him, and he said to him, Shall 7 years of famine come to you in your land? Or shall you flee 3 months before your enemy? Or shall there be in your land? Now consider and see what answer I should take back to him who sent me. And David said to us, Plead us in the hand of the Lord, for he saved from the destruction, and said to the angel who was destroying the people, It is enough now, Arona, the Jebusite. Then David spoke to the Lord when he saw the angel who was striking the people and said, Surely I have sinned and I have done wickedly. But this sheep, what has they done? Let your hand, I pray, be against me and against my father's house. And God came that day to David and said to him, Go up, erect an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Arona, the Jebusite. So David, according to the word of God, went up as the Lord commanded. Now Araunah looked and saw the king and his servants coming toward him, and Araunah went out and bowed before the king with his face to the ground. Then Araunah said, Why has my lord the king come to his servant? And David said, To buy the threshing floor from you, to build an altar to the Lord, that the plague may be withdrawn from the people. Now Araunah said to David, Let my lord the king take and offer up whatever seems good to him. Look here, are oxen for burnt sacrifice, and threshing implements, and the yokes of the oxen for wood. All this, O king, Araunah has given to the king. And Araunah said to the king, May the Lord your God accept you. Then the king said to Araunah, No, but I will surely buy it from you for a price, nor will I offer burnt offering to the Lord my God with that which cost me nothing. So David brought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar to the Lord and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord heeded the prayers for the land, and the plague was withdrawn from Israel. First Timothy. First Timothy 6. Let us many bond servants are under yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, so that the name of God and his doctrine may not be blasphemed. And those who have believing masters, let them not despise them because they are brethren, but rather serve them, because those who are benefited are believers and beloved. Teach and exhort these things. If anyone teaches otherwise and does not consent to hold some words, even the words of our Lord Jesus Christ, the doctrine which are with godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing, by his come envy, strife, reveling evil suspicions, useless wranglings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, who suppose that godliness is a means of gain. From such yourself. Now godliness with contentment is great gain. Nothing to this world, and it is carrying nothing out. And having food and clothing, with this we shall be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts, which drawn men into distraction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, for which sinners and pierce themselves through with men and pursue righteous fight of faith, lay hold on eternal.
Recording in progress.